How's it going, everybody? It's me, Logan Joyce, aka Suburban Yinzer. I'm down here for the first time in my life in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, which is in Jefferson County here in the Keystone State. And right now I'm at the Punxsutawney Library, and this is where Punxsutawney Phil lives and resides during the year, throughout the year before February 2nd on Groundhog Day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the window. Basically, you can go and visit Phil and his mate and their offspring here at the Punxsutawney Library. But this is my first time ever here in Punxsutawney, and I can tell yins that if you live in the Keystone State or you live in southwestern Pennsylvania around the Pittsburgh area, I would suggest coming up here because it's a great place. It's only about an hour and a half drive. It's not too bad. So anyway, let's go and check out Phil. Probably with the glare on the window, yins aren't going to be able to see that much, but hey, what are you going to do? So there's a couple facts here that they show at the window. So before I show yins Phil, well, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to go down and show yins the window so you can probably see Phil and his mate and their offspring. The glare is not too good, but there they are in a burrow. I don't know if yins can see, but they're just sleeping right now, Phil and his mate and his offspring. There's two babies, and they just stay there throughout the year, and they walk around. And fun fact about myself and Phil is that I actually met Punxsutawney Phil personally for the first time ever at the St. Patrick's Day, the Pittsburgh St. Patrick's Day parade. He was like in a little bubble, and the inner circle was down there, and he was in a bubble running around. So I actually was about 1 foot away from Punxsutawney Phil, which is really cool because I'm a huge Pennsylvania guy. I love Pennsylvania culture and history. And as you guys know, Pennsylvania is one of my favorite states in the Union, naturally. So this tripod's driving me nuts. So anyway, it says the legend. Every February 2nd, Punxsutawney Phil appears and forecasts the weather for the next 6 weeks. A shadow means 6 more weeks of winter, no sunshine, and hence no shadow means spring is just around the corner. And over here, another fun fact about Phil and the Groundhog Day holiday is it says that most groundhogs live about 6 to 8 years. Phil gets a drink of magic elixir each year that gives him 7 more years. He is over 100. Just take it with a grain of salt. Phil's favorite meal is dandelion. Dandelion leaves in early spring. A baby groundhog is called a kit. Phil has no known offspring. And Punxsutawney Phil weighs about 18 pounds in the fall and is 22 inches long. So those are some cool fun facts about Punxsutawney Phil. And naturally, we all know that Punxsutawney Phil isn't 100 years old. That's just the lore and the legend of Phil, because these people take it pretty serious. And honestly, I respect it and I acknowledge it because there is so much culture and so much history down here in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. And as you can see, these people really enjoy the holiday and really enjoy the folklore and the culture of Punxsutawney Phil in the holiday of Groundhog Day. And not only is it significant for the town, but it's also a great cultural presence and brings a lot of revenue and a lot of good publicity and good attention around the country to Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. And I, as somebody who loves Pennsylvania and Pennsylvania culture and history, I can admit that this is an awesome town, has awesome vibes. And throughout the day, I'm going to be recording some other stuff. We're probably going to go to Gobbler's Knob and a couple other special places around the town promoting it. But being that this is my first time here, I have a really good feeling that this day is going to be fantastic. So that was Phil. This is the public library where he resides, as I already reiterated in the beginning of the video. So anyway, peace out and stay tuned for more. How's it going? This is Gobbler's Knob. This is where the ceremony occurs on February 2nd. This is where the insiders, the inner circle, this is where they This is where they reveal Punxsutawney Phil and put him up on the stage and have him look at his shadow or not look at his shadow. This is where it is located at Gobbler's Knob. I've never been up here before. I've never seen this. This is the first time ever. And I'm going to give Jens a wee bit of an insight on what this area is. And my first time walking around, but I'm going to tell Jens a little bit more about Gobbler's Knob and Groundhog Day right now. So there's a Pennsylvania Historical Commission sign right here that I'm going to read to Jens to give a wee bit of education on the holiday and on the ceremony. Oh, that's a perfect angle. It's leaning up. Hopefully the wind doesn't knock it over, because that would just be great. So as early as 1886, never mind, I'll just hold it. German immigrants here observed Groundhog Day and established the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club in 1899. According to folklore, if the hibernating groundhog known as Punxsutawney Phil leaves its burrow on February 2nd and sees its shadow, there will be 6 more weeks of winter. The legend is based on a European custom predicting the length of winter by weather conditions on Candlemas, an ancient Christian festival. So this is where I'm going to get a wee bit historical, not only historical, but also depicting and analyzing the culture of Groundhog Day. I'm going to go this way. So, as you know, or might not know, as the sign said, German immigrants brought this tradition over from Germany, or from Western Europe in general, because the Germans, or the ancient Celts, the Celtic tribes, they used animals to predict the weather conditions, because they knew, the ancient pagans knew, that weather was predicted by animals, meaning that weather conditions, naturally, to predict the weather or to figure out what's going on, you have to observe animals and observe wildlife, which is very insightful and very wise. We think of our ancient Celtic ancestors as primitive barbarians, but if you think about it, these people weren't stupid. They were pretty wise and pretty philosophical. So, as that sign said, when the German immigrants were coming over to Pennsylvania, or to the colonies in the 17 and 1800s, they brought these customs and these traditions in this heritage over, which has been established as modern day Groundhog Day. So this is the main entrance to Gobbler's Knob up here in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. Look how nice this is. Look, Pennsylvania, Punxsutawney's got the groundhog there. It's got the groundhog on top with the inner circle. Absolutely fantastic. And I love that this town in this area really commemorates and makes such a big deal about this holiday, because it's a really big deal. I mean, many people can say, "Oh, Logan, this is stupid. This is primitive. This is just dumb." I don't see it that way. I see culture and holidays and tradition as a great thing that we should celebrate and that we should encourage, that we should be involved in, especially as a fellow Keystone State Pennsylvania boy. This is just a dream come true, and it's absolutely awesome that we, especially as Pennsylvanians, we can dive into this and we could participate in this, because it really is a big deal, and it really really encapsulates our culture. And not only that, but if you're German, it encapsulates and brings to highlighting attention our German ancestors and their culture and their roots from Western European, or Western Europe in general. So this is just a little background about Groundhog Day, which is really cool, because when you come up here, as Jens can see, you get to learn. And it's all about education. It's all about preservation. It's all about the culture, the tradition. And right down there in that wooded area, that's the stage where they pull Phil out of the little log, the fake log. And they set him up on the stage, and they do their whole tradition. They do their whole ceremony, the inner circle, which I think is absolutely fantastic. I watch it every year on YouTube, live streamed. But someday, Logangsta here is going to get to Punxsutawney on February 2nd when it's 20 degrees outside and it's 6 in the morning. I swear to God, I'm getting here. I'm going to do it. So anyway, I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to go down and I'm going to show you the stage and where all the magic happens. So right now I'm here at Gobbler's Knob, the home of Punxsutawney Phil, and I'm going to be walking down to the stage and going to be showing you where the whole thing happens. Remember, this is my first time seeing it, so I'm going to be improvising while I show you a little bit about where it's located. So, could you imagine this place right now on February 2nd when it's bitter cold out? But this is pretty cool because what I'm doing is I'm spectating and I'm analyzing what I'm going to be doing on February 2nd someday in the future, because as a Pennsylvanian who loves the Keystone State, I have to do this. This is a bucket list, and this is absolutely amazing that I'm down here right now walking in this, because look at this. This is what I watch on TV every single year. This is what I watch, and the whole world, to be honest, watches every single year. And I'm actually down here at the spot, at the legitimate location where the ceremony is held. Can you believe this? Look at it. There's the log where he's held on February 2nd. And this is the stage. This is the real deal, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Gobbler's Knob, home of Punxsutawney Phil, weather capital of the world. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where the ceremony is held. And I believe you can walk up here. I don't see why it's any controversy that I can walk up here and stand up here. Look at this. So this is the legitimate log. Oh my God, it's real. I think it's real. This is where Phil is held, and they knock on the door. Yins know the tradition, and then they bring him out. I think there's some type of lid thing here. There's a whole system. There's probably like a whole secret system. Let's see if no, it's locked. It's got a lock on it, so you can't go in it. That's pretty neat. Look, Phil. But in the movie Groundhog Day, I'm just going to talk a wee bit about this while I'm sitting here. So, you know the movie with Bill Murray called Groundhog Day, made in 1993? So that is a little bit of fake news, because many people watching this movie, Groundhog Day, they believe that the movie was filmed in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, and it wasn't. It was actually filmed in, I think, Woodstock, Illinois. The director, Harold Ramis, which many of you might not know Harold Ramis, he was actually a co-star with Bill Murray in the movie Stripes, 1981, and Ghostbusters 1 and 2, 1984, 1989. So Harold Ramis was a director, and I think he also wrote Groundhog Day. He wanted the location of the movie to be close to Chicago, Illinois, because that was his HQ. That's where he lived, I believe. That's where he wrote and did all of his work. So he wanted it to be close to Illinois, so that's why they held it at Woodstock, Illinois. And plus, it was a bigger location and was more suitable to acquire and to be able to inhabit the actors, the set, the filming crew in general. So it's a shame that I do think it's a wee bit of a shame that the movie was not filmed at Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, or here at Gobbler's Knob, because honestly, just looking at this for the first time ever and actually being here and sitting down here, I can tell you this would have been an absolute awesome location to film the movie Groundhog Day. I don't know why they didn't, but regardless, in the movie Groundhog Day, everybody thinks, oh, they filmed the movie at Gobbler's Knob. It's downtown in Punxsutawney. No, it ain't. It's here in the middle of the woods. It's right up the road from the town of Punxsutawney. You have to drive a couple miles up the road, and it's here in the middle of nowhere, basically, in the middle of the woods. But honestly, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous up here. And I feel that it's something that many Yins should come up and see, because just my first time being up here and standing on this stage, it's actually pretty awesome, because like I'm actually standing on the real deal. Like, this isn't like fake, and this isn't like, oh, you know, embellishment. This is where Groundhog's Day is held, or Groundhog Day, sorry, is held every single year on February 2nd. And Look at this. This is what they see when they're up here on the stage. So imagine, I think 50,000 people. The one woman told me at the official souvenir store down in Punxsutawney. She told me this year, on February 2nd, 2025, there were 50,000 people. Look at this. They're all the way up there, and there's like a gift shop, like a Gobbler's Knob HQ right up there where my parents and my brother are. And so imagine 50,000 people standing here at Gobbler's Knob when it's like literally, I don't know, at the highest, I'd say 30 degrees. Because we as Yankees up here in Pennsylvania, we know that on February 2nd, on Groundhog Day, it ain't no 75 degrees. It's bitter. And let me tell you this, many of the people standing out here, they got to stand out here as early as probably midnight, 1, 2, 3 in the morning. They got to be in this vicinity, in this area, really early to get those prime locations to be able to view the ceremony. And for many people that don't understand it, there's many people in this country or in Punxsutawney that take this very serious. Even though it's a very lighthearted, a very family-friendly, innocent tradition, it is very culturally impactful and significant with the Germanic, Celtic, pagan traditions that were brought over from Western Europe during the colonial and days in the 1800s. 17 and 1800s. And many people, especially in the town, take this holiday very seriously because it is significant for Punxsutawney, and it really brings a lot of revenue and brings a lot of publicity, good publicity, positive publicity to the town and to the people in general. And it really keeps the town thriving and keeps them relevant and keeps the economy stable. Because if it wasn't for Groundhog Day, in my personal opinion, I don't think Punxsutawney would have lasted. I don't think that this town, Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, and Jefferson County, Pennsylvania, I don't think that this town and these people would be this stable or be this comfortable if it wasn't for this tradition and this holiday. So if there's anybody that thinks that, oh, Groundhog's Day's stupid and this is dumb and this is weird, let me tell you something. This is pretty serious and this is pretty respectable. And I feel that out of all of the crazy crap that goes on in this country, I am so proud to be a Pennsylvanian, especially a southwestern Pennsylvanian, to be specific, because this is actually awesome. This is actually really cool, and I'm glad to be here and to be able to share this with yins. And I really hope that someday many of yins have the chance to come up here, even if it isn't on February 2nd. Just come up here, spend some money, spend some time, and contribute in some way, because it's nice. It's innocent, it's respectable, and it's actually a one-of-a-kind opportunity. So anyway, in conclusion, here at Gobbler's Knob, Suburban Yinzer, aka Logan Joyce, the low gangsta, I want to say peace out, and thanks for watching the video. Have a good day.